In the dim glow of our family's Chicago loft, the clinking of glasses cut through the air like a blade. I was Emily Hayes, 26, the one who always blended into the wallpaper at these gatherings. My parents, Laura and David Hayes, lifted their wine with beaming smiles, their voices thick with adoration. To our brilliant son, the one who's making us all proud, Dad boomed, his eyes fixed on my brother, Ryan, whose polished grin reflected the chandelier light like a trophy. Then Mom turned to me, her lips curling just enough to sting. And to the daughter who's still figuring it out, she added, her words laced with that familiar condescension. The table erupted in chuckles, Ryan's expensive cufflinks flashing as he leaned back, joining in the mockery. I clutched my napkin under the table, my knuckles white, swallowing the burn in my throat. No words escaped me, just a forced nod, my face a mask of composure. But inside, the humiliation coiled like a spring, ready to snap. The chatter resumed, forks scraping plates, until Grandma Evelyn rose slowly, her chair grinding against the hardwood floor with deliberate force. The room fell silent, all eyes on her frail but unyielding frame. She didn't waver, her gaze piercing through the pretense. Then I'll share my meal with the one who doesn't beg for scraps of approval, she declared, her voice a quiet thunder that echoed off the walls. My parents' glasses hovered midair, frozen in shock. Ryan's smirk evaporated, replaced by a flicker of unease. Grandma crossed the room with measured steps, settling beside me, her weathered hand covering mine like an unbreakable shield. You owe them nothing, Emily, she murmured, loud enough for the silence to amplify it. In that moment, the spark ignited not just defiance, but a deep, simmering vow. I'd been invisible too long, their laughter a constant echo in my mind. That night, I knew their dismissal would be the fuel for my undoing of them all. One bitter Chicago winter week later, I slammed the loft door behind me, my backpack slung over my shoulder like a declaration of war. The wind whipped snow against my face, but I didn't feel the cold, only the heat of betrayal burning in my chest. Mom's still figuring it out and Dad's echoing laugh replayed like a toxic loop, pushing me forward. I wouldn't beg for their scraps anymore. My boots crunched through the slushy streets, each step severing the ties that had held me down. I found a rundown studio above a noisy bodega in Wrigleyville, the kind where the pipes groaned like ghosts and the air smelled of stale takeout. Rent was $600 a month, scraping my savings bare. But I signed without hesitation. My freelance graphic design gigs, logos, websites, digital art weren't steady, but they were mine. I set up a makeshift desk by the grimy window, my tablet and stylus ready. The screen's glow my only companion in the dark. Family had always dismissed my creativity as a hobby, not like Ryan's venture capital-backed marketing firm, hailed as the future of advertising. It's not real work. Mom had sneered once, her disappointment a knife twist. I shoved the memory aside, diving into projects. The first months were a grind, invoices unpaid, ramen for dinner, the electric bill a looming threat. Doubt whispered in Dad's voice, you'll come crawling back. But Grandma Evelyn's words anchored me, you owe them nothing. I'd call her late at night, her steady tone pulling me from the edge. Keep creating, child. Your fire's brighter than their shadows. One freezing evening, as I wrestled with a stubborn design layout, my phone lit up. It was my old college roommate, Sophie Klein, a sharp-eyed marketer who'd always seen my potential. Still breathing, her text read. She showed up with pizza and her laptop, her energy cutting through my isolation. You're not fading away here alone, she said, plopping down. Over greasy slices, We brainstormed my passion project, a digital portfolio app for artists and freelancers. Intuitive and sleek. Born from my own frustrations. Sophie nodded fiercely. This could disrupt the whole scene. Posted on Design Hub, let the pros tear it apart. I hesitated. Design Hub was brutal. Full of critics who'd eviscerate flaws. What if they echoed my family's scorn? Sophie gripped my shoulder. You're not their doormat anymore. Own your edge. Her push echoed Grandma's, igniting me. I spent nights refining it. Every pixel a rebellion. Hands trembling. I uploaded the beta, calling it a tool for the unseen creators. Morning brought chaos, notifications exploding. Designers praising its flow, calling it revolutionary. My pulse raced, not fear, but the thrill of validation from strangers who'd never laughed at me. 6 months in, my inbox chimed with an offer that cracked the dam inside me. I'd poured endless hours into the app, evolving it from a rough sketch to a polished gem. Design Hub's buzz had snowballed, thousands of users. Forums buzzing with tips on its features. Now, Apex Creative, a powerhouse agency in downtown Chicago, wanted me to demo it for acquisition. I stared at the email. Heart slamming. The old wounds reopening. Mom's condescension. Ryan's perpetual superiority. They'd see this as a fluke if they knew. But I wouldn't let ghosts derail me. With weeks to prep, I isolated myself, iterating designs, user interfaces that felt alive. Sleep evaded me, caffeine fueled the fire. The apartment's heater rattled like judgment. But I tuned it out. Every revision was a silent scream against the family table's mockery. Doubt Claude, what if Apex saw the fraud my parents did? Grandma's mantra steadied me. You owe them nothing. Sophie became my drill sergeant, crashing my place after her gigs, mocking up pitches over coffee. Sell the story. The pain that birthed this. She was right, it wasn't just an app. It was my scar-turned-weapon. We rehearsed in dive bars, her feedback sharpening my edge. Walk in like you own the room. Her belief seeped in, transforming my whispers to roars. Word spread in Chicago's creative circles, invites to mixers, where artists knew me as the app wizard, not Ryan's shadow. At one event, a tattooed illustrator gripped my hand. Your tool saved my sanity. It built me up, layer by layer. As demo day loomed, pressure mounted. Apex wasn't small time. They could catapult or crush. Nights blurred. Ryan's imagined sneer haunting me. But I visualized Grandma's grip. Sophie's nod. This was for the girl they'd dismissed. The night before, Sophie crashed on my couch, running final mocks. You're a force, she said. Dawn broke, and I strode into Apex's gleaming tower, portfolio in hand, nerves steel-clad. The conference room at Apex was all chrome and city views, the air thick with stakes. I'd rehearsed until my voice was iron, every slide a bullet. The execs entered, polished and probing, and I began strong, unveiling the app as a beacon for overlooked talents, its sleek navigation a nod to my hidden struggles. But then the door opened, and Ryan strode in, his designer suit screaming entitlement, pitching his firm's bloated platform for the same slot. My gut twisted, of course. He'd wormed his way here, his connections a web I'd once envied. He shot me a glance, dismissive as ever, then launched his spiel, flashy visuals, buzzwords on scalability, but hollow at the core, mimicking my innovations without soul. I felt his eyes on me, probing for weakness, but I held firm. The board grilled us both, his responses faltered, arrogance cracking under scrutiny. The head exec, a no-nonsense veteran, furrowed his brow at Ryan's evasions. Deliberation dragged. My fists clenched, Grandma's echo my lifeline. Finally. The verdict, Emily. Your vision resonates. We're partnering with you. The words exploded like release. Ryan's face contorted, jaw locked, eyes wide with defeat. I met his stare, unflinching, letting him taste the invisibility he'd fed me. Post-meeting. A lucrative deal, mid-six figures to integrate my app. As I signed, Ryan cornered me in the hall, voice low and venomous. This is a fluke. I turned. Calm as ice. Flukes don't build empires. Ryan. Hard work does. His silence was sweeter than any apology. Back home, Sophie hooped over the phone. But Mom's old taunt lingered. This win was blood in the water. Family would circle soon. I wasn't finished carving my path. Within another 6 months, my app dominated creative feeds. Downloads surging into 6 figures. Articles dubbing it the freelancer's lifeline. Users flooded my inbox with stories of reclaimed time. Their gratitude a balm on old scars. Ryan's firm. Meanwhile, hemorrhaged clients. Headlines exposing his overpromises. I didn't celebrate publicly. But the reversal twisted like sweet revenge, his pedestal crumbling under the weight of his ego. Mom and Dad's calls ramped up. Laura's voicemails dripping false honey. We should reconnect. Darling. David's texts. Family first. Emily. I ignored them. Their sudden interest a transparent ploy. My Wrigleyville studio evolved into a bustling co-working space in the Loop. Desks humming with hires, talented misfits I'd scouted from mixers. Sophie stepped up as my COO. Her wit and insight my daily armor. This is your throne. She'd say. Whiteboard sketches flying. We iterated relentlessly. User feedback fueling updates that crushed competitors. Invites poured in, panels. Podcasts. My name untethered from Ryan's. At one summit, a journo probed, outpacing your brother's fall. How's that feel? I smiled thinly. I'm focused on creation. Not collapse, but inwardly. His hallway snarl fueled me. Grandma Evelyn called weakly. Her pride a quiet fire. You've turned their blindness into your light. She never pried about the others. Her support pure. Unburdened. One day, Sophie shoved her phone at me, Ryan's firm on the brink. Layoffs looming. A pang hit, not triumph. But the cost of betrayal realized. Mom rang that night. Sharper, Emily. We're blood, help your brother. I let it voicemail. Deleting without a listen. Their favoritism had poisoned us, now they'd drink it. My resolve hardened, this empire was mine. Forged in silence. 3 months on. A lavish envelope slipped under my door, an invite to family dinner at their downsized condo. Laura's script elegant, but desperate. Calls escalated. David's tone accusatory, you're abandoning us. I nearly trashed it. But texted Grandma instead, lunch. We met at a cozy diner in Lincoln Park. Steam rising from our coffees. Evelyn's eyes, wise and weary, met mine. They're circling because you're winning, she said. Sipping slowly. I spilled it all, the app's assent. Ryan's pleas I'd overheard through grapevine. She shared her own ghosts, a factory job in the 60s. Dismissed as the woman who dreams too big. I cut the noise. Built my peace, she confided. You do the same. Her hand on mine echoed that fateful dinner. Strengthening my walls. A alert buzzed. Ryan's bankruptcy filed. Evelyn's face stayed neutral. Choices have prices. Back home. Laura's voicemail begged, save us. Emily for family. I blocked them. The act of final cut. Pain sharp but liberating. They weren't seeking me. They wanted my success as their crutch. A year deeper. Ryan's call shattered the office calm. My team buzzed around expansions. Sophie leading the charge. I answered. Voice edged, what now? His plea cracked, My firm's ashes. Your thriving loan me startup cash. Admission followed. You've surpassed me. I was wrong. For a flash, I saw the boy who'd shared secrets. Not the betrayer. But scars one, no. Ryan. Reap what you sowed. Silence. Then disconnect. Weight lifted. Not from pity, but closure. My app was industry gold. Awards lining shelves. At a gala, trophy in hand for Disruptor of the Year, I spoke of resilience. Sophie beaming below. Post-event. Laura and David's texts raged. Selfish girl. News shows your ego. Articles detailed their ruin. Assets liquidated for Ryan's debts. I ignored. Calling Evelyn, we did it. Her warmth. You've claimed your worth. Blocking them all severed the last thread. Agonizing freedom. My life hummed. Team is kin. Creations as legacy. Their downfall, bankruptcy. Isolation was the price of their poison. I'd paid mine in silence. Emerging unbreakable.